Whether it's A-list actors phoning it in or amateurs who shouldn't be making movies in the first place, there are a ton of terrible performances out there. But which ones are the worst of the worst?
They're eating her, and then they're going to eat me.
Drama movies are all about those strong, captivating, and emotional performances. So whenever an actor doesn't deliver the goods, their inadequacies stand out like a sore thumb. And when it comes to the most woeful dramatics, few actors are more infamous than Tommy Wiseau in The Room. These days, The Room is widely acknowledged as a so bad it's actually good classic. In the beginning, however, Tommy was under the illusion he was making a prestige drama about a broken relationship. And he threw his all into it. Unfortunately, he just wasn't talented enough to hit those emotional beats.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
At least we can appreciate The Room for its entertainment value, but some performances in drama flicks have just been downright terrible. When Cameron Diaz was cast in Gangs of New York, she was already an established screen presence with a great track record. From The Mask to There's Something About Mary to Any Given Sunday, she showed that she could conquer any type of role. But Gangs of New York came along and exposed her single weakness: Irish accents.
Go back to the point and leave me to my business, or I will open your throat, so help me God.
That accent ain't convincing anyone. Plus, it also didn't help that she had absolutely zero chemistry with Leonardo DiCaprio, and their relationship is a big part of the movie. Even the best actors have bad days at the office, though. That includes Robert De Niro, the legendary performer who gave us classics like The Godfather 2, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, and Meet the Parents.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Consider that last one a fluke, though, as De Niro has been so bad in comedies. When he appeared in The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, some people thought the mighty man had fallen.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
You'd swear that was Dr. Evil's senile old grandpa and not one of the most acclaimed talents of all time. Maybe De Niro wanted to have some harmless, goofy fun. But was it really harmless? I mean, he harmed our eyes and ears with his atrocious performance. While we're on the subject of actors who are much better than some of their performances would indicate, let's talk about Adam Sandler. Back in the 90s, he made us laugh out loud thanks to his turns in Billy Madison, The Waterboy, and Big Daddy. By the time 2011 rolled around, though, he was a laughingstock and a shadow of his former self. And Jack and Jill only harmed his rep even more. This movie saw him play both a man and a woman, but he should have focused on getting one character right as opposed to ruining two of them. That being said, his portrayal of Jill really sucked.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Oh my God. Oh, no. Look at this. I'm sorry. I weighed too much. You were right.
However, Sandler's performance in Jack and Jill is Shakespearean compared to the Wayans brothers outing in White Chicks.
Squeeze me? Oh, no, you did.
When you get past the bad prosthetics, you see that the acting is just lazy and stupid.
Your mother's ass is so hairy, it looks like Don King's about to pop out and say, "Only in America."
But hey, this was 2004, a time when yo mama jokes and casual misogyny was all the rage. It's easy to spot bad acting in comedy movies, but action movies can disguise their actors' shortcomings with big explosions and excitement. So when an actor does stand out for the wrong reasons, you just know their performance is a stinker. Take Bruce Willis in the Death Wish remake, for instance. Granted, Bruce had been phoning it in long before he'd even been cast as the chief vigilante in the movie. But you'd think he was a coffee table in this movie since his performance is so wooden. And that ain't a good thing, considering that he's supposed to be an angry killer who's mourning the loss of his dead wife.
So there's nothing that I can do? Is that what you're saying?
You can have faith.
How'd faith work out for them?
Bruce couldn't even muster up any emotion when he went to avenge his family's attackers in a nightclub. Let's not bother trying to figure out how a 60-year-old man got into a hip club wearing a hoodie. Just look at his facial expression here. There's loud music playing all over the joint, but Bruce looks ready for his snooze. It's a sad state of affairs seeing Willis not care anymore. We all know how brilliant he's capable of being. At least Joe Marshall tried to be entertaining when he stunned viewers with his atrocious performance in Samurai Cop. We can make an entire video on how terrible the acting in Samurai Cop is, but this scene involving Joe and a naughty nurse sums it up perfectly. You can probably guess what they're talking about.
Don't worry, I got enough. It's big.
I want bigger.
If you want to see some truly horrific performances though, look no further than the horror genre at its worst. Troll 2 is a hilariously bad movie with a legion of fans who celebrate its awfulness. But nothing in the film is more memorable than Darren Ewing's performance. Here he is reacting to a gruesome death scene in the flattest and funniest way imaginable.
They're eating her, and then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
Darren showed other actors how to undersell a scary scene, but Nick Cage was the opposite in The Wicker Man. His performance in this one chews more scenery than a nuclear blast, whether he's punching people like a grizzly badass,
What is it? What's wrong, sister?
or dealing with pesky insects.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Oh, my eyes! Eyes! Ah!
His performance is a prime example of Cage rage at its finest, or its worst, depending on your perspective. However, I'm sure that we can all agree that Keanu Reeves was totally miscast in Bram Stoker's Dracula. You can always rely on Keanu to deliver the goods in action movies like The Matrix and John Wick, but never ask him to put on a British accent when he's hanging out with vampires.
I've seen many strange things already. Bloody wolves chasing me through some blue inferno.
Sci-fi and fantasy movies have also opened the door to some horrendous performances. These ones can sting especially hard considering that many of the characters are iconic and deserve better portrayals. No one ever wanted to give Kevin Sorbo an Emmy when he played Hercules back in the day, but at least he brought some personality to everyone's favorite son of a Greek god. This one serves as proof that a ripped physique can never distract from an awful performance. This dreadful fantasy flick is more or less a vehicle for slow-motion special effects and Kellen Lutz's abs. When you have those at your disposal, who cares about the lead star being awake throughout the movie?
Father, I believe in you. Grant me strength!
You better believe that we prayed for strength to get through this slog as well. Speaking of muscle men, we can't overlook Arnold Schwarzenegger's crimes against cinema either. Sure, he's been integral to some of the best action movies of all time, but he also helped ruin a Batman movie with his hammy acting and terrible puns.
If I must suffer, humanity will suffer with me.
Trust me, dude, we did. Of course, Mr. Freeze is far from the worst Batman villain to get a bad rap on the screen. Jared Leto's performance as the Joker in Suicide Squad is a joke, and not the good kind.
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
It's like they decided to take one of the best villains in the history of pop culture and reimagine him as a cartoonish juggalo. In fact, either member of the Insane Clown Posse would have been better in this role, and they starred in Big Money Hustlers. You're a great actor, Mr. Leto, and your performance in the Snyder Cut was much better. Let's just chalk up Suicide Squad as a bad decision. If you liked this video, be sure to check out our breakdown of the worst CGI moments in the history of cinema.